Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I hope you're doing so very well. Today I am bringing you a rapid fire every book I've read this year and its rating. So I'm not going to give synopsis. I'm not going to give a full-blown review or go into much detail. I'm going to pop the picture of the book on the screen and tell you my rating and maybe a one sentence if I feel like it. This is just going to be rapid fire, the 35 books I read from January to June. So let's get right into this, and hopefully this will be a super quick video. First, here we have Cloud and Unicorn. Oh, I should also point out I might not have the author's name written down, but if I can remember, I will say the author's name. But again, these books will be on screen so you can see the cover and the author. But without further ado, the first book I read was Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cersei. I gave this a 4 star. YA horror, loved it. It went darker than I thought it was going to go. The next book is not an actual red book, it is a DNF. This is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. Didn't like this. If I read it, I probably would have gave it a 1 star. Not for me. Next, we have My Best Friend's Murder, and I gave this a 3 star. Middle of the road thriller, highly recommend the audiobook. The same with the next book, which is The Return by the same author. Gave this 3 star. Both middle of the road thrillers, but the audiobooks were highly entertaining, so I do recommend the audiobooks. Next, we have A Flame by Penelope Douglas. This is a novella, and I gave this 4 stars. We also have Next to Never, also by Penelope Douglas. Again, another 4 star. I do believe Next to Never got a 4.5 star, or A Flame got a 4.5 star. Then also by Penelope Douglas, we have False Boys, which actually got a 5 star. Loved returning to these world. Loved seeing the characters in a new generation. Loved seeing the old characters from the older generation. Next, we have The Last Tales of the Flower Bride. I gave this a 4 star. I really enjoyed it. Gothic, atmospheric, and with a good mystery weaved in. Then we have All the Dangerous Things, and this is by Stacey Willingham. I gave this 4 star. This was a great thriller and a great follow up to her debut that I really enjoyed last year. Next, we have The Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I give this a 5 star. This was a surprising 5 star for me. I don't read much sci fi, but this really hit the spot. Blood Orange by Harriet Tice was a 1 star read. I did not enjoy this. I was unfortunately let down. My first reread of the year was You by Caroline Kepnes. I gave this a 5 star again, and I really enjoy the first book in the series. I did continue, and you will see my ratings as we get on through these books. Next, I read Hidden Bodies, which is a sequel to You, and I gave this a 3 star. I was let down by this book, this sequel. It wasn't as good as the first one, unfortunately. Then I read Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca, and I really enjoyed this. I did give it a 3.5, but it was because it was a short story collection and not all of the short stories hit the same way. But there was a 5 star short story in there, and I am definitely interested in more of this author's work. Then I read the third book in the You series, You Love Me, again by Caroline Kepnes. Gave this a 3 stars again. Fortunately, it just went downhill after You. I'm still going to finish the series, and I still really enjoy the TV show. Then we have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This got a 3 star. I am not continuing the series. I unfortunately didn't really vibe much with the first book. I do still have interest in the Six of Crows duology, but I'm quite happy to not read Shadow and Bone and just watch the TV show. Next, we have Silent Waters by L.V. Matthews. I give this a 4 star. This was a very interesting thriller with a good setting, and I'm excited to pick up more of this author's work. Then we have The Perfect Sun by Freda McFadden. I give this a 3.5. I read this on Kindle Unlimited, and most of her work is on there, so I will be picking up more of this author's work in the future. Then we have The 7 Days in June by Taya Williams, and I give this a 5 star. Second chance romance, loved the characters, and the book was funny, which I really enjoyed. Then I read Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendle Lives. I gave this 5 star. Again, this YA horror duology really did push the bounds of what I think YA horror has done for me in the past, and I lived for it, and I definitely want to consume more of this type of horror. Then we have Twisted Games by Anna Huang. I read Twisted Love last year, and this year I read Twisted Games. I gave it a 5 star. I enjoyed this one more than the first one, and I can't wait to continue on in this series. Then I read a short novella, which was the 20th anniversary screening. I gave this 4 stars. This was a very good, entertaining, fast paced horror novella. I then read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, aka my biggest disappointment so far this year. Dear Medusa by Olivia Cole. This was great. This was a novel in verse, centered around some hard topics. I highly recommend, but please look up triggers. We then have Godkiller. I gave this a 4 star. I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait for the sequel to come out. Although I do wish the book was a bit longer. I feel like we could have gotten this book and potentially the sequel in one if the sequel is as short as this one. My second reread of the year was Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I gave this 5 stars again. I really enjoyed this. I am happy to return to this world, and I hope to finish this trilogy and the novella off this year. We then have Verity by Colleen Hoover. I gave this a 4.5 star. I did really enjoy it. I know some people don't, and that is fine because we are all here to just enjoy what we enjoy. And I did end up enjoying this one. Although now that I have read some people's thoughts, I think if I went back and reread it, I would maybe pick up on the things that I missed upon first reading it. We then have a series, which I don't know if I've got them written down in order, but it is the Never King, the Dark One, the Fey Princess, and their Vicious Darling. The first 3 books in the series all got a 3 star, and the Fey Princess got a 3.5 star. Fun, fast paced, entertaining, exactly what I thought they were going to be when I picked them up. We then have Satan's Affair, and I gave this a 2 star. It was fine for a novella. If it wasn't a novella, I maybe would have DNF'd. Bringing me on to my next book, Haunting Adeline. This was a DNF for me. I was not a fan. Unfortunately, there was a, scene, if you know, that I was just like, nope. And then we have Until I Get You by Claire Contreras. I gave this a 4 star, but on reflection, I think it would be a 3.5 star. I enjoyed this enough, but in retrospect, um I think it's more forgettable than I first realized when I had finished it. Next, we have the best book I've read so far this year, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Of course, I gave this 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. I am obsessed. I don't come at me for not reading this sooner because I'm already coming at myself. Then we have Last to Die by Cynthia Murphy. I gave this a 3 star. I did really enjoy it. It was fun and fast paced, but unfortunately I found it predictable. But this does mark a huge thing for me because Amy McCaw invited me on a live to discuss this book for her book club pick, and it was my first live I've ever done. So I will be keeping this book, and I will forever cherish this memory of my first on YouTube. Somehow forgot this magnificent 5 star read, A Dowry of Blood. This was great, loved it, highly recommend. And that is it. That is the books that I have read from January until June. I didn't want to go into too much detail just simply because I want to do some reviews and I will be speaking about these books in upcoming videos, end of the year videos. You'll probably get sick of hearing of some of these Mistborn. But I I did want to just quickly run through the books that I've read so that you can maybe request down in the comments if you want any of my thoughts on these books. I'll either reply to your comment or I can make a review video if that's something that you would like, or if you would like me to pick up any books based on these books that you have seen that I've read. I would love your recommendations down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this sweet, fun, fast video. I thank you so very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.